Time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy video with her and her daddy complaining about something.
Remember when I said earlier, I've never seen so many cowards and black men in this business? I would have to put my brother Tyler Perry. I no longer have Mr. Daniels' number. And what I would do is have the conversation publicly. Because what you've shown me is our private conversations, once you get public, it becomes something different.
Monique has been going off about Oprah, Tyler, and others she feels have wronged her, from pay problems to family issues. She's always bringing them up in speeches and talks, never letting it go. Even though Oprah and Tyler have tried to make things right with her. But now it seems like people are just over it. They're tired of hearing the same complaints and drama from her all the time. D.L. Hughley, a prominent figure in the comedy world, has enjoyed both fame and popularity throughout his career. However, he is currently facing criticism and controversy, with recent issues including accusations of and conflicts within his own community marking a challenging period for the comedian. So, D.L. Hughley got everyone talking because of Monique's recent podcast on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharpe. In the interview, the almost Christmas actress spilled the beans about her time on Hughley's radio show. She opened up about feeling offended by his co-host, and that's what got everyone buzzing. Now Hughley has responded to Monique's revelations from the podcast. Quote, "The reason lies and false narratives continue to go on and circulate is because they go unchecked. What you're not gonna do is call me out my name and not get checked. Monique is a liar," wrote the comedian on Instagram. In the video, he doesn't just stop at the caption, he goes on to explain why he thinks the precious star is not telling the whole truth.
That she said she got off, she called me. Monique did, and she said I was very dismissive, like, Monique's a liar. When Monique did call me, I heard her complaints. I listened to her.
For the context in the interview, the actress delved into the challenges of being blackballed in the entertainment industry, facing exclusion from her peers and more. She didn't hold back, even calling out Hughley. According to her, she felt uncomfortable during a game of Would You Rather on his radio show, even though he wasn't around when it happened. Monique has fired back at D.L. Hughley once again, defending herself in an Instagram live session with her husband Sydney Hicks. They claim the interview was scrapped after involving their attorney, though they clarified that they didn't send Hughley a cease and desist. Monique insisted that her remarks were aimed solely at Hughley and not his wife or daughter.
And I said, DL, then we're gonna have to get our attorney involved. That's the last thing me and D.L. Hughley said on that conversation.
And after having that conversation with Monique, we went and got our attorney.
During the live session, Monique also addressed the Breakfast Club hosts for their recent apologies, appreciating them for owning up to their mistakes. Right is right and wrong is wrong, and because you babies owned it, you apologized, she said, blowing them a kiss. Basically, in the aftermath of Columbus Short's dismissal from ABC's popular series Scandal, D.L. Hughley found himself in hot water for comments regarding Short's ongoing marital issues with his estranged wife, Tanny McCall Short. During a recent segment of his Radio 1 show, The D.L. Hughley Show, the entertainer cast doubt on the legitimacy of Short's misdemeanor spousal battery charge. This charge alleged that the actor had reportedly choked his wife while she was sleeping. The star of one of the hottest dramas in the country chokes the F out of his wife? That doesn't ever happen. I don't think it happened first off, like the time Warren Sapp was getting ready to do the Super Bowl and some broad said that he R'd her. There are just as many examples of women lying on men in the middle of divorce proceedings to get what they want as there are men who actually do anything. My point is, if he did what she's alleging he did, she could still get all that she's going to have and not bring it up now when it damages his market value that she's going to be impacted by. If he loses that job, nobody's living in Calabasas anymore. I guarantee you 3 years from now, she's going to be thinking, damn, I should have shut the F up. Women always running out the mouth when they shouldn't. This bee was thirsty. The bee was thirsty. What, she gonna go back to dancing? She gonna F up her money? The contentious audio clip, which has since been taken down from the show's hosting site, has sparked a significant backlash. This has resulted in a Change.org petition calling for D.L. Hughley to issue a public apology. The petition alleges that Hughley's comments may have endangered the lives of black women who could be victims of domestic violence by encouraging them to remain silent.
This is what D.L. Hughley posted over on his Instagram account. I don't care if your man is selling hot dogs. You're supposed to be right beside him asking, do they want ketchup?
In response to the widespread criticism, Hughley addressed the controversy on his show, expressing remorse for his earlier comments. He admitted to making assumptions about Columbus Short's marital situation without having all the facts and acknowledging his mistake. Hughley apologized for commenting on Tanny McCall Short, recognizing that he had underestimated the seriousness of the situation. He made it clear that he does not endorse violence, asserting that he has never physically harmed anyone unless they were deserving men. Hughley acknowledged the potential impact of his words, recognizing that his comments might have been perceived as discouraging victims from speaking out. Despite not typically apologizing for things he doesn't genuinely mean, he emphasized genuine regret in this instance and apologized for any harm caused. Hughley clarified that he does not support the idea of women remaining silent about A and stressed the importance of speaking out against such incidents.
Before there were People magazine, before there was Sports Illustrated, before there were magazines telling you who you were, glamour, you were the standard of beauty.
DL Hughley has a history of being outspoken, especially when it comes to women. Known for his unfiltered opinions, he doesn't shy away from stirring controversy with his words. While he expresses genuine regret when people misinterpret his statements, he remains unapologetic for views that go against the mainstream. In an interview with Essence while promoting his upcoming TV One show, Hughley addressed past comments, including remarks from a 2012 interview where he claimed to have never met a group of people angrier than black women.
DL Hughley believes that he has never met an angrier group of people.
Oh, for Christ's sake, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, we talk about celebrities trying to get attention.
In response to his past comments, Hughley clarified his stance using a metaphor to describe black women as, quote, spicy food, saying, quote, I love you, but it hurts in the morning. When directly questioned about whether he genuinely believes black women are angry, he provided a more nuanced response. Hughley argued that it's not about being angry, but understanding the reasons behind that anger. Quoting James Baldwin, he highlighted the idea that being black and conscious often involves a constant state of anger, which many see as a racist viewpoint, emphasizing that it's not wrong to be angry, but wrong to not know why. Quote, to be black and conscious is to be angry all the time, said Hughley. It's not wrong to be angry, it's wrong to not know why, he explained. Hughley continued, aren't you angry when your sons are getting shot in the street? Aren't you angry when you're maligned? Aren't you angry when you have to protect us more than we step up for you? So why would you be mad when someone said that you were angry? What you're mad about is that people don't explain why. Hughley went on to elaborate, pointing out valid reasons for anger, including the challenges faced by sons, systemic issues, and the necessity for protection. Still, many saw these viewpoints to be racist. He challenged the notion that expressing anger is inherently negative and underscored the importance of comprehending the underlying causes. Hughley concluded by suggesting that people might be upset not because they are labeled as angry, but because the reasons behind that anger are not adequately explained. Expressing his love for black women, Hughley acknowledged that he may not always fully understand them, but appreciates their strengths and unique qualities. An interesting take. Despite occasional controversies, he stands by his admiration for the resilience and character of women, valuing their authenticity and emotional expressions.
You already were the standard of beauty. Before they had things to make you beautiful, people looked at you and you were the standard of beauty.
In a recent exchange with Terry Crews, tensions escalated as DL Hughley questioned why Crews didn't physically confront someone who had aided him. Hughley addressed the incident at a TV One press event, expressing his desire to have Crews as the first guest on his upcoming late-night talk show, The DL Hughley Show. He clarified that his intention was to ask questions about Crews' perspective, and stressed the importance of individual perspectives in such discussions. While Hughley made it clear that he wasn't blaming Crews for the A, he raised a broader concern about public attention and care, advocating for consistency. He argued for the need to focus on cases of violence against black men, not just in instances of A, but also in cases of police brutality. Hughley emphasized the importance of maintaining a consistent level of concern for the well-being of all individuals regardless of the circumstances. Expanding beyond his comments on women, Hughley has also been involved in a well-known feud with Monique. Recently, Monique, who joined 50 Cent for his BMF drama series, openly discussed her role as the headliner during a stand-up performance in Detroit. According to USA Today, Monique revealed that she had signed a contract for the show, but DL Hughley declined to perform because she was headlining.
When they called me to come play Detroit and come play the Fox Theater, and I ain't played the Fox Theater in over 20 years.
During her opening act, Monique passionately addressed the audience, expressing the challenges she faced to be there that night. The Oscar winner didn't shy away from discussing her history with Hughley and even suggested that his moniker DL might allude to him being on the down low. She said, quote, y'all don't understand the fight I had to go through to stand in front of y'all tonight. Hughley, who is also pretty vocal, responded on Instagram. Quote, all you have to do is check the order of names on the ticket stub from last night and you'll see who's confused. Against my better judgment, over the objections of my team and 4 other occasions where I said no, I decided to take a chance and work with Monique. Oprah was the problem. Tyler Perry was the problem. Charlemagne was the problem. Steve Harvey was the problem. Lee Daniels was the problem. Netflix was the problem. Now it's my turn. At some point, if it can't be everyone else, it's you. Lesson learned. I didn't have anything personal against Monique. People paid a lot of money to laugh, not hear about your contract. Apparently the role you played in Precious turned out to be an autobiography. I wonder who's next. This instigated a response from Monique on Instagram. Quote, the fact that you point the people to the ticket stubs for the order of the names versus to your contract implies that you don't have a contract that shows you are the headliner like I do. Either show your contract or be quiet. Stop messing with people who have never messed with you and who once considered you a comrade in comedy. But I thank you, DL, because you're the reason why I fight for my people like I do. Anytime you open for the Kings of Comedy and I was the headliner for the Queens of Comedy and you think you should close the show over me is a prime example of the bias that black women have to deal with in the business. I won't even discuss awards. I love us for real. Hughley reiterated his status as the headliner by showing his contract to his followers. Quote, after this, I don't want to hear no more about this. Here it is in black and white. The only thing blacked out is personal and bank info. Pay attention to headliner, highest paid artist on show, artist to have approval of lineup of the show, DL Hughley closing. Receipts are greater than opinions. I got everything that was stated in my contract, everything. But let's say I didn't, my beef wouldn't be with anyone but the promoter and or my team, and I damn sure wouldn't make it personal. If you have a problem, take it up with management, and by that I mean yours. Daryl Lynn Hughley. Monique responded in another Instagram post, quote, if you notice mine has signatures and DL's does not. What type of ironclad agreement doesn't have the signatures of the participants involved? Hughley didn't hesitate to respond and call the comedian out over the documents she shared, pointing out that the contract she included in her post came from her own company. Hicks Media Inc., hold up, that's you. You're really showing everyone a contract you submitted from your own company. I smell bull S, he wrote. Sounds to me like your problem is with Hicks Media Inc. The dispute between Monique and DL Hughley has spanned several days, with both comedians expressing their views on various platforms. Hughley posted comments on YouTube while Monique shared a 1-hour video on Instagram addressing a false narrative presented by Hughley about her stand-up career and also mentioning Steve Harvey. Monique vehemently refuted claims that she has stopped being a stand-up comedian, asserting, quote, I've never stopped being a stand-up comedian, baby. I've been out there on that road doing my thing the whole time, so stop trying to put a false narrative out there. That's Steve Harvey's big word. Stop trying to put a false narrative out there. She further disputed Hughley's assertions about the audience's reaction on the night in question. According to Monique, the audience gave her standing ovations both upon entering and exiting the stage. She concluded by stating, quote, just your night was bad, DL, and added that Hughley did not meet the challenge of that particular audience. After that, Monique has chosen to retract certain remarks she previously made regarding fellow comedian DL Hughley and his family. During her stand-up comedy show in Raleigh, North Carolina, the actress offered a public apology to Hughley's family, acknowledging her commitment to rectifying any harm caused. Quote, I value my integrity, and when I make a public mistake, I believe in addressing it publicly, she expressed to the audience. So right now, I need to set things right. To DL Hughley's family, I want to extend a public apology if my words have caused any pain. It was never my intention to hurt their family, and I sincerely apologize to his wife and children if I've hurt their feelings. My intentions were never to cause harm. Now, as for DL, I stand by everything I originally said. The feud ignited when Monique took the stage and playfully roasted DL Hughley, alleging that he refused to perform before her at the Fox Theater in Detroit on March 28th. According to Monique, her contract designated her as the headliner, granting her the closing spot. However, DL reportedly disagreed. The contract explicitly states that I am the headliner, the one who closes the show. Let me emphasize that, the headliner. Monique declared during her performance, I've been in this business for over 30 years and I don't open for anyone. Monique went on to claim that DL Hughley, despite his own successful career, opposed her closing the show. She emphasized the significance of the contractual agreement, expressing her frustration with the situation. In her words, quote, the contract designates me as the headliner. I signed up for that. I've earned my place after 3 decades in this business. Yet DL Hughley decided to act otherwise, saying, quote, I won't perform if she closes the show. Well, you opened for the Kings of Comedy and I closed for the Queens of Comedy. Monique added, quote, you think because I don't have a D, it ain't my position? No. So when I leave this MF, the headliner has left. I don't F with anybody, I don't F with no MF buddy. But when you cross the line with me, guy, you have crossed the MF line. And that crossed the MF line. Black America has taken sides. Even those who haven't are divided in how they feel about the actual beef. Some are bothered by the feud, while others, like Blackish creator Kenya Barris, said they found the feud high-key hilarious. DL Hughley lit Monique up and she is looking silly right now. She took her anger out on the wrong person and has burned a bridge, CJG tweeted after Hughley posted his deal memo. Monique has always raised her voice in the case of being blackballed. She accused many big names of the industry of essentially blackballing her from Hollywood. The Oscar-winning actress during her comedy routine got real about the strained relationships with Hughley, Perry, Daniels, and Winfrey. If you recall her role in Daniels' 2010 film Precious, since then she claims to have only been in 4 films, attributing it to what she describes as their whiteballing. Back in 2015, she initially revealed being blackballed by this trio. A few months back, Monique made waves at the Apollo Theater by airing her grievances about Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah Winfrey. She claimed that they had essentially blacklisted her from Hollywood. Revealing strained relationships during her comedy routine, Monique reflected on her role in Daniels' film Precious, asserting that she'd been in just 4 films since then due to their efforts to sideline her. She had first mentioned being blacklisted by them back in 2015. In response, Daniels told The Hollywood Reporter that Monique's demands during Precious didn't align with the campaign, which strained her Hollywood relationships. He considered her a friend and would consider her for future collaborations, but the creative teams opted for other actors for recent roles. Monique didn't mince words during her Apollo performance, rejecting the term blackballed and alleging she was whiteballed by black individuals without courage. She directly addressed Daniels, Perry, and Winfrey, criticizing their treatment and unequal pay. Regarding the press tour for Precious, which was co-produced by Oprah and Perry, Monique opted out due to lack of compensation and exhaustion. This decision led to her being labeled as difficult and hard to work with. Despite her Oscar win for the film, media stories portrayed her negatively, and she realized she was intentionally sidelined. Despite efforts to reconcile, an apology from Oprah and Perry remains elusive.
She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. No show will happen, but I wanted to call you up.
After the press tour incident, Monique shared on Comedy Central about Oprah inviting her brother Gerald and parents to her show. Monique had confided in Oprah about her strained family relationships due to her brother's actions. Monique agreed to Oprah inviting Gerald but didn't want to participate. During the taping, Monique was shocked to see commercials featuring her family, feeling betrayed by Oprah's actions. Monique demanded an apology but received none.
Now I begin to see commercials with my brother, my mother, my father, and my other brother.
Privately or publicly, she's still waiting for that apology today, especially considering Oprah's friendship with Tyler Perry, which complicates matters. Opinions are split. Some think Monique is creating drama, while others believe she deserves an apology from Perry and the group. Monique clearly has issues with Tyler Perry and is not holding back. There's talk that she might expose his secrets given her industry experience and insights. Tyler Perry has made a significant impact, rising in the Atlanta theater scene and achieving success with his Medea films. However, his journey hasn't been without controversy. Rumors suggest his ego may have caused conflicts, even with influential figures like Oprah. In Hollywood's competitive landscape, progress often comes with challenges and sometimes involves questionable tactics, and it seems Tyler Perry may not be exempt from these issues.
And when I'm hearing all this noise, man, it was crazy because there were no black people on television. Before diversity became a thing, Tyler Perry was the only one out there for a long time.
Let's keep it real. Tyler Perry's journey has not been a walk in the park. There's talk that his ego may have taken a toll, leading to clashes even with heavyweights like Oprah. In Hollywood, it's often said that you need to play a few questionable cards to make it big, and Tyler Perry seems to be familiar with that drill. After finding success at the box office, Perry transitioned to TV with the hit sitcom House of Pain. However, when it came to securing a lucrative syndication deal and a spin-off named Meet the Browns, things took a messy turn. According to reports, Perry let go of 4 writers who were pushing for union contracts, causing quite a stir in the industry. Quote, "We're asking all those who had planned to attend the opening of Tyler Perry's new studio not to cross our picket lines," said writer Christopher Moore. "It's very disheartening considering that this is a studio run by African Americans. What Tyler Perry is essentially saying to us is that you're black and there's not a lot of opportunities for you, so you'll take what I give you, whether it's fair or not." However, this time Monique herself is also in a grappling situation, as her own son is also questioning her actions. Shannon, known as Show Nomad Dad on TikTok, recently posted a video addressing his famous mom Monique's comments about their strained relationship during her lengthy interview. Despite maintaining a relatively low profile on social media, Shannon, a father himself, expressed disappointment with how Mo portrayed their relationship, suggesting it was more for show than genuine. He calmly explained in his nearly 10-minute statement that neither he nor Monique desire reconciliation, and perpetuating that idea would be misleading. Monique, known for her transparency, responded via Instagram Live shortly after, seated next to her husband Sydney Hicks. In her almost 40-minute reaction, she addressed not only the issues with Shannon, but also recent comments from Stephen A. Smith and Judge Greg Mathis. While Monique remained composed, she hinted that her son's perspective may not paint the full picture and suggested he might be dealing with, or have dealt with, mental health challenges. And netizens did not let this incident pass. One person wrote, "Monique's son said something that toxic parents never seem to understand. To repair the relationship, the parent must be willing to do most of the heavy lifting." Another one added, "Now I love Monique, but something doesn't sound right. If both of her older sons are from her first marriage, why would her current husband claim one son and not the other? And as a mother, why would you even be okay with that?" So when her own family is taking jabs at her, it becomes natural for netizens to talk about her being overdramatic.